So, what does peace of mind as a parent to you mean? I know that it meant for me not having those sleepless nights. I remember raising my two children. I was a single parent. And one of the things that I really, really didn't like was not knowing the answers, not knowing what was going on with my child, not understanding their behavior, not understanding their emotions, and being kept awake at night thinking about what can I do, not knowing what to do. Not having solutions was the worst thing for me as a parent. And so I'll never forget when this changed for me. I was introduced to something called emotional intelligence, but discovered that it wasn't just about emotions, that it was more about understanding your child's behavior, how their emotions affected their behavior, how their mindset affected their emotions, and then obviously their emotions affected their behavior. So it was this big cycle of how your child reacts and the way they behave and whether they listen or whether they don't listen, and that it was made up of all these different factors. And I remember when I learned all about this, I was chatting to my son the one day and we were really connecting well. And he looked at me and he said, Mom, for the first time in my life, I feel like you understand me. And that to me was just such a wonderful moment as a parent, because for the first time I thought, wow, I'm actually doing something right for a change. Because, as parents, we never get handed that manual that said, well, here's your baby and here's the manual that they came with so that you can understand what they're all about and how they operate. So for the first time, I was like, wow, I actually feel like I'm doing something right. And then learn to understand that, for children, they really want to trust us. They want to believe us and they want to listen and they want to cooperate and they want us to lead them instead of us managing them. It's very much about leading them because, when you lead somebody, you trust somebody that is a leader, because a leader is somebody who is more peaceful within themselves and they know what they're doing because they've had some experience or they have a deeper understanding of what is going on. So you as a parent becoming the leader instead of being their manager can make a huge difference, not only to your child, but to you as well. Because what it does then is that you enter into like a cooperative parenting style instead of you being the boss and they being the child and you talking and they not listening. So you really can become your own little team. And what it then does is it connects your family to each other more. Because I remember with just the three of us, when I learned about emotional intelligence and I learned about my parenting style and I learned about their learning styles and I learned about the different personalities and the temperaments and their paces and their love languages, and we would discuss it with each other. And it was so wonderful because not only did I get to understand them, but they got to understand me. And so we knew when somebody was having a bad day and how we could relate to each other and how we could help each other, how to listen to each other, how to respect each other, and how to trust each other. And most of all, it brought us really close to be super connected. And now today, my children and I are great, great friends because I really do believe that you can be friends with your children. So for me, having those understandings and having the solutions and knowing what to do is what gave me peace of mind, because I could then start sleeping soundlessly without being constantly worried about what was going on with my child, because I knew that they would come and talk to me about it. They would talk to me about absolutely anything. And I would talk to them about certain things as well, so that they knew that whatever was going on with me was not their fault. So we really built this wonderful relationship between us. So if this sounds like the kind of peace of mind that interests you or that you are looking for, I've got something great for you. So I'm putting all my work out on this channel for absolutely free. I'm giving you my course, the Emotional Intelligence Foundation course, so that you can not only understand your children, but that you can understand yourself. I'm also making the resources available. I've created resources to teach children these amazing skills from the age of 4 to 10. I'm busy working on some more resources for ages between 11 and 16, and I will let you know about them when they become available. But in the meantime, you can actually teach the older children from the same Emotional Intelligence Foundation course because they really get it and they really understand it. So I'm making it available for free. If you haven't got a copy yet of my best-selling book, Emotional Intelligence in a Nutshell for Parents and Teachers, you can download that as well. The link is down below. So you can download that book and read it. I've also got a free Facebook group, so you can ask me as many questions as you like. I love answering questions. And because it's a public group, you can just post anonymously. You don't have to reveal your name if you don't want to. You can be completely private. But before you go, I want to tell you about something else. So I work for a non-profit organization called EQ for All, which is Emotional Intelligence for All. So we have discovered that when children are raised with these foundation skills of emotional intelligence, they really can hold their own. They can be safe to express themselves. They can feel safe being themselves. And no matter what goes on in their environment, they don't blame themselves. So I've got a passion project. I'm very passionate about helping women to heal from and to break free from abusive relationships. So whether it's domestic violence, mental abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse. So I'm very passionate about helping women to get free of that. But I like to take it further and to help their children, not only to recover as well from being affected by those relationships, but to grow up not going into a relationship where they will either be an abuser or where they will be a victim of an abuser. So EQ for All Foundation, we do a lot of work in that sector, and we go into the schools and we teach all children in those schools, not just children that have been in those situations, or grown up in those environments. But we go into schools and we teach children about kindness, compassion, empathy, just being really strong within themselves and their own mindset, being able to be assertive, to understand themselves and to understand the people in their life, which really helps children to not be affected so astronomically if they didn't have these skills. So if you want to know more about that, that's called the Bear Kind campaign. And I will post a link down below for that as well. Oh, and then one last thing. I do have a mentorship group where I mentor parents via WhatsApp. So we have a lovely community of people that you can then gain access to me directly. It's a safe community. You can ask questions, and I do some group coaching on the group. And so that's not only for parents, but I have one for women as well, in situations that I've just spoken about. So if you want to know more about that, I have posted the link below as well. So yes, so I do hope that this video has helped you in a little way. Um, Even if it's just to introduce you to what gave me peace of mind as a parent and what turned my relationships around with my children. And having that knowledge has been absolute gold. And now you're going to have that knowledge as well, as I'm making it accessible to you for absolutely free. All I ask in return is that you subscribe to the channel, put on the little notifications as well so you can see when new information has been shared. Share the channel, share it wide and far, because the more people who know about these incredible skills, the more people we can help, right? We can really affect humanity, and we can change the way that people are with each other, and we can change the way children grow up and help them to grow up feeling safe and secure within themselves, give them these incredible skills. And also, it will help so many families to be more connected and to just have better relationships all around. So, if you can subscribe to the channel, share the channel. And then the third thing I'm going to ask is that when you have a learning or an understanding, or you have this aha moment, as Oprah calls it, that once you've learned that you teach somebody else. There's a wonderful saying called each one teach one, which I've only become aware of quite recently. And apparently it's something that the slaves started back in the day, that they didn't have access to knowledge and skills. So what happened was, when one slave learned something, they would then say, okay, now you go and teach that skill to somebody else to help them to, and it was all about reading and writing. So I'm going to ask that you do the same, and that so when you learn all about this, that you go and teach at least one other person. Okay, so subscribe to the channel, share the channel, each one teach one, and let's all make the world a better place, not only for ourselves, but for our children and our grandchildren and their children and every generation that's going to come after them. Because wouldn't it be wonderful if we could all live on a planet where we all understood each other, where we had more love, more kindness, and much more peace. So to access the Emotional Intelligence Foundation course, just have a little look around on this channel and there's a button that says playlists. Click on the playlist button and then you will see the one that says Emotional Intelligence Course Free or Free Emotional Intelligence Course. And then just follow them in the sequence that I have placed them. I've also numbered them to say which video is which one, because sometimes YouTube shuffles them all about, but I have numbered them so that you can follow the whole course the way it's meant to be followed in its sequence. From me, Deborah McPhillamy, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you either in the Facebook group or in my WhatsApp mentoring group. Take care and have a beautiful day. Bye for now.